The Grand Plaza Hotel. Crystal chandeliers hung like frozen waterfalls. Marble floors gleamed under soft lights. White-clothed tables, silver everywhere. A man entered through the revolving doors. Worn coat, frayed at the edges. Simple shirt. Scuffed shoes that had walked many miles. The manager's face tightened. Guests turned away. He stood quietly, didn't apologize, didn't explain, just waited. His name was Alexander, 55 years old, gray at the temples, lines around his eyes, the kind that come from years of smiling, or perhaps from seeing too much of the world's cruelty. The Grand Plaza was the city's most exclusive hotel. Businessmen closed million-dollar deals over lunch here. Celebrities dined in private rooms. Politicians held court at corner tables. Everything cost more than it should, and everyone knew it. That was the point. The price wasn't just for food. It was for exclusivity, for the right to say you belonged. Alexander didn't look like he belonged. The manager, Victor, had worked here for 15 years. He knew quality when he saw it. Designer suits, Swiss watches, Italian leather. This man wore none of those things. Victor's practiced eye cataloged every detail. The coat's worn elbows, the shirt's missing button, the shoes that needed resoling. Victor approached, his smile thin and professional. "Sir," Victor said, the word clipped, "I'm afraid there's been a mistake. This establishment has a dress code." Alexander looked at him calmly. "I'm here for lunch." "I understand, but as you can see," Victor gestured vaguely at Alexander's coat, "we maintain certain standards. Perhaps there's another restaurant nearby that would be more suitable." Around them, conversations had stopped. Diners watched with barely concealed interest. A woman in diamonds whispered to her companion. A businessman smirked into his wineglass. Alexander didn't move. "I made a reservation, table for one, under my name." Victor's smile grew tighter. "Sir, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. We can't accommodate everyone who walks in off the street." "Off the street?" An elderly woman at a nearby table laughed softly. "Victor, really, just call security." "That won't be necessary," Victor said smoothly. He turned back to Alexander. "Sir, please." The word hung in the air. Not a request, a command. Alexander stood there for a long moment. His eyes moved across the room, taking in each face. The businessman still smirking, the diamond woman with her hand over her mouth, a young couple looking uncomfortable but saying nothing, the elderly woman who'd called for security. He could have left, should have probably. It would have been easier, but something in the way Victor looked at him, that particular blend of contempt and satisfaction, made Alexander stay. "I'll wait," he said quietly, "until you check your reservation system." Victor's jaw tightened. "Sir, I don't need to check anything. Please, check." The quiet authority in Alexander's voice made Victor pause. Something flickered in his expression. Uncertainty maybe, or the first whisper of doubt. He pulled out a tablet, his movements sharp with irritation, scrolled through the reservation list. His fingers stopped. His face went very still. "There must be some mistake," he murmured. "Is there?" Alexander asked gently. Victor's face had gone pale. He looked up from the tablet, then back down, as if the words might change. They didn't. I apologize, Mr. Chen. I didn't realize." "Realize what?" The manager's throat worked. "Your reservation is flagged as VIP, priority service, and..." He swallowed. "The note says you own the hotel." The words dropped into silence like stones into still water. The room erupted in whispers. The businessman's smirk had vanished. The diamond woman's hand fell from her mouth, hanging frozen. The young couple exchanged horrified glances. Alexander Chen. The name meant something in this city. Hotels, hospitals, schools bearing his family's name. Foundations, scholarships, billions in quiet philanthropy. He was rarely photographed, almost never at public events. He preferred it that way. Victor's face had gone from pale to gray. Mr. Chen, I sincerely apologize. I had no idea. If you'd been wearing... If I'd known... If I'd been wearing what? Alexander's voice remained gentle, soft even, but there was something beneath it now, something that made the entire room lean forward. If I'd been wearing an expensive suit, a watch that costs more than most people earn in a year, then I would have been worth your respect? Victor opened his mouth, closed it. No words came. Alexander turned slowly, addressing not just Victor, but everyone in the restaurant. The businessman, the diamond woman, the elderly woman who'd called for security, the young couple, all of them. I walk these streets every day, Alexander said, his voice carried, clear and calm. Sometimes in suits, sometimes like this. Do you know what I've learned? No one answered. No one moved. People see the clothes, not the person. They see the watch, not the wrist it's on. They see the car, the house, the price tag. Everything except what matters. He looked down at his worn coat, touched the frayed sleeve. This coat has kept me warm through winters. These shoes have walked miles to hospitals, to schools, to places where I could actually help people. This shirt, he smiled slightly. My daughter says I should throw it away. She bought me 20 new ones. I keep this one because it reminds me of who I was before money changed everything else. He turned back to Victor. You didn't refuse me service because I broke any rules. You refused me because you decided, in 3 seconds of looking, that I wasn't worth your time, that I wasn't good enough for your marble floors and crystal chandeliers. Victor's eyes glistened. Mr. Chen, please, Alexander raised a hand gently. You judged a book by its cover. We all do it, every day. We see someone and decide instantly what they're worth, how they should be treated, whether they deserve our respect, our time, our basic human courtesy. He looked around the room again, his eyes soft, sad almost. True wealth isn't in bank accounts. It's not in the thread count of your shirt or the make of your car. It's in how you treat people when they can't do anything for you, when you think no one important is watching, when someone shows up in worn clothes and scuffed shoes. The silence was absolute. That's when character shows itself, not in the ballroom or the boardroom, in moments like this. Alexander walked toward the door, not rushed, not angry, just peaceful, dignified. Victor stumbled after him. Mr. Chen, please, I'll have your usual table prepared. Anything you want, please. Alexander paused at the entrance, looked back at the manager, at the room full of frozen faces. I don't want lunch anymore, Victor, but I want you to remember this. Every person who walks through that door is someone's child, someone's parent, someone who matters to somebody. They all deserve the same respect, rich or poor, well-dressed or not. He nodded once, then stepped through the revolving doors and disappeared into the afternoon crowd. Behind him, the restaurant remained silent. Victor stood motionless, tears on his cheeks. The diamond woman had covered her face with both hands. The businessman stared at his expensive wine like he'd never seen it before. The lesson settled over them all like snow. The story spread through the city. People talked about it in coffee shops, shared it online, told their children. Victor changed that day, truly changed. He started treating every guest the same, whether they wore silk or denim. Clothing is just fabric, words are just sounds. But dignity? Dignity is a choice, every single day. How often do we judge a book by its cover? True worth doesn't wear labels, it lives quietly, inside, in how we treat the powerless, in what we do when no one's watching, in the moments we choose kindness over judgment.